So what we're doing now is the inaugural run from staging to staging. So we've got a light power move that came out of West Staging, which is Pasco and Seattle. And we're coming in, we're in the state of Washington, and we're crossing the Union Pacific Bridge that goes over the Snake River. So this bridge is a 1,400 foot bridge, and it is built to scale, about I think it's just shy of 8 feet. So the cards you see there are where signals will eventually go. So I'm just keeping track of the address for the signal. So we come across this curve on the Upper Peninsula. This is in one stall of the garage. This was added on afterwards. So I had the one stall where staging kind of was, and then this was an addition later. So it's kind of a weird design, but I didn't want to rip down the layout. So right here is the first passing siding. This is Central Ferry. So this will have a two fertilizer dealers and a spur for grain, to ship grain out to an elevator that transloads into a barge. So we come out of the end of the passing siding, cross a little bridge, and we're going to tuck into the wall here, and this is going to take us to the other room. And that's my dog Colt. So here's kind of the design flaw. It cuts in behind this hit and running. This crossing is the Jamestown Snake River staging, which will come out another way. It's not wired yet. And now we're running through Wawawa Bay, headed east. And we're at Granite Point State Park. And this runs along the Snake River. You see the basalt caves. And now we're getting ready to come across the Lewiston lift bridge over the Clearwater River. So this is a Lewiston lift bridge model at 70%. So in hindsight, it would have been easier just to model it to scale. It was a lot more work to compress it, and I had to remove some walkways because they didn't clear modern auto racks. So now we cross River Drive, which is, this is in Lewiston. That's a mock-up of the lift bridge building. As you come across the corner, you've got Lewiston Grain Growers and you've got Twin City Foods. So those in reality would be on this side of the track downtown, but wanted to model them. So now they're on the wrong side track, but it's for operations purpose. Here's a mock-up of the Union Station. And we're getting ready to come into yard limits. And so I've modeled East Lewiston yards modeled. It's about 80% compression. So I've got I think I modeled all but 2 tracks. It's a little narrower, and the engine facility that you'll see that's incomplete is kind of at the wrong angle. But I also added, there's the AmeriGas propane, which is in Lewiston, but I also added Camas Prairie Products, which is another food area, food industry, this transload facility, a plastics facility, and then here you see the yard. The yard's run does not run arrival or departure tracks. It's just the yard master gets to determine what tracks that he wants to use for what train. So normal car card and boxes, and so yard master can pick whatever track he wants to build trains on. So this spur here is Morrill Steel, which is actually in Lewiston, one of the industries that Camas Prairie used to serve. I don't think they still serve them. And then this is Pacific Hide, which is a scrap dealer. My assumption is it used to trade with hides in the old days, but it's now a scrap dealer. There you see the engine facility. It's not finished. I still need to add, all the tracks are in, they're not wired. And I still need to add, put in the turntable. And the won't have a roundhouse, it'll just have the overhead cover. And then you have, this is Coleman oil. So that'll be right here. Once I get doing some more research on Coleman oil, trying to figure out what their logo looks like in the 80s. So probably will hold off on Coleman oil. So as we come out of East Lewiston Yard, we're still in yard limits here, and we come into Forebay and the Potlatch mill. So this is not modeled anywhere near to scale. In reality, it'd be better if this were kind of a peninsula and you could be on the other side and access it from the other side. But there's a couple tracks back there, so essentially you tuck cars in, pull them out. There's it'll be a lumber shed for lumber loading, 4-bay yard, and then I'm gonna do the log lift, all that big gantry that you see as part of the skyline there in East at 4-bay. So as you come across, we're still coming out of 4-bay. This is another passing siding as we're exiting 4-bay. And then this is William and Anthony Logging. This is a creosote plant made for poles and ties. And then that's Clearwater Cement. So those are fictional, but they add some operational interest. So as we come out of 4-bay, we'll start picking up the speed here. And we come into, we're coming into Spalding Junction. It's like that Spalding Creek. I think that's what it's called. We come into the Y. More of the signal placard. So there are no signals on a Camas, but since I'm running a proto freelance, it'll be a main line to Boise, so it'll be signaled. So, and now we enter an 8-turn helix. So this will kind of come around the corner and tuck in. I'll hide it with scenery, and I think it's Johnson Farm that's will be on top of it. I'll have a foam cap that you can put over top of it, and then I'll scenic that. Track you see in the background would be the first sub, represents kind of the first sub that goes to Arrow Junction and east to Camilla and so forth, and that'll just that's just coming out of staging. So I'll run a short line, the fictional short line, and that'll come out of there during op session. So we've got some time. We're going to stay at speed through the helix here, just kind of give you for timing, and I'll kind of cover, go back through the upper level and cover some other notes of interest. So Spalding Junction, there's a kind of a park there, old cabin, and then there's a bridge that comes across the Y. I've got a 3D printed bridge that'll eventually go in there. And then I intend to signal it. And so my goal is to do about a year's worth of op sessions before I bring the signals active. So this is the current board I plan to use to dispatch, just simple magnets with train numbers on them and the passing sidings and so forth. I have not measured out the passing sidings for capacity. My standard will be 2 6-axle locomotives and a caboose, and then whatever number of I use probably coal gondolas just as a standard length, and that'll be what I use for passing siding capacity. So, and then I'm going to cover some of the bottom level here before we come out of the helix. So this is going to be the curved bridge that goes over Highway 95, I think it is, and it goes into tunnel number 1. Now tunnel number 1 creates almost a 90-degree, a little over 90-degree curve in there. I won't have that kind of space, so there'll be the tunnel number 1 portals there. The portals are modeled based off the photographs. However, they're a little taller and a little wider, so I can get auto racks through there. The Camas Prairie never had to worry about getting any excess height rolling stock through. So, and then you see the Camas Prairie is known as the railroad on stilts. So I tried to add in Lapwai Canyon a number of trestles. So then you have tunnel 1 there, a trestle. This will be what used to be tunnel 2, and it was daylighted, so that'll just be a cut, another trestle, and then this goes into tunnel 3. And then we've got half moon trestle. It's probably modeled about 80% actual size, about 80%. So it's missing a few bents, a little bit of length, and a few of the see the railroad tie abutments there that are holding up the rock. So this half moon trestle. Then we come in here. This big loop will have the tunnel 4 west and east portal. So we'll go into tunnel 4, and then we come across. Here's where Lapwai Canyon differs. I've got a passing siding in the canyon, so there is no passing siding between New Craig and Reuben's, but I wanted to add one in here because I needed a passing siding for operations. So that splits this. So I've got tunnel 5 and tunnel 6 will be modeled on this quarter, and then this is another trestle, and I wanted to model this scene. This is a little stream with looks like concrete wall right in front of the trestle. So that'll go right there, that trestle. And then tunnel 7, that's portals for tunnel 7. And then as we come out, I've got a modern concrete bridge. So I think in this scene I may just add some burned out trestles in the cut. Make it look like Burlington Northern replaced them with a modern bridge. So this is a canyon. I think we got the train coming out of a stage in here soon. Let's see where we got it here. So I think this I'm going to call potty break helix. So when you go in the helix, it gives you time to go to the bathroom and grab a beer. So let's see where. All right, we're coming out. There we go. So we're at that is the east end of New Craig. The east end of New Craig, and then I've added a siding here. This will be. I'm debating whether to run helpers. So I wanted to have the track configured to be able to have a helper pocket. Otherwise, we'll just store maintenance away equipment. So that's not prototypical, but added that on there for the option. So here we catch it. We'll catch the trains coming across. Half moon. And we're running about scale speed. Yeah, this just maybe a hair fast. So I've got speed indicators along the layout. So with kind of speed marks, so you can count your train through, and then I'll have speed cars for each throttle. Looks really got a little short there, but got through. Each throttle will have a little card that lets the operator know the throttle settings that keep it at the approximate speed. So. And you can see how I did that. Here's the speed mark. And you just simply count your train through. And you count it through those marks, and that gives you the approximate speed. So now we're coming into Reuben. We picked up speed. Oh, wow, it looks like we caught a turnout here. Hold on here. We'll get it back on the track. There we go. Thought I could get across the entire layout without derailing. that little area where it shorted out, it must have picked a point or something. So have to tune that up. So this is going to be Lawyer Creek Viaduct. It'll be about 6 feet long. If it was modeled to scale, it'd be 9 feet. I didn't want to model it to scale because then I wouldn't have any scenicking on either side. So come in through an S-bend here. And then this is kind of a familiar photo from the canvas. This is the trestle coming into the Cottonwood. And Cottonwood's an interesting town because it's built on a curve, almost a 90-degree curve. So I've had to compress it. So I will probably get only 3 of the 4 elevators on the far side. And then this will be the Cottonwood Elevator Company in here. It won't be to scale. So this is, I'm just using this kind of as car storage and then industries. And then, we lost the caboose, so we'll just keep the caboose off. And so this is another passing siding. And so I'm gonna have a through girder bridge in here. And this is gonna be, it won't be probably farmland because it'll be right away, but this is just kind of up on the canvas. We'll just have long prairie grass. So after we come out there, we come into Reuben's. Let's see if we get through here. I'm sorry, this is Fenn. So this is modeled pretty accurate. It's I had to put it on a curve. Fenn's actually on a straightaway, but this will have the Union Elevator number 2, which is on, you see that'll be modeled pretty much complete. And then the other elevators are off spots. So that gray piece of plastic represents the foundation. So now we jump into the other room. Back in, and we're in Grangeville. So Grangeville is, the west side of Grangeville will be modeled all freelanced. So I've got a brewery in here, a lumber mill, a chip loader, Idaho lime, and that'll be McGregor fertilizer. So not prototypical at all. I'm also adding a yard, bigger yard, on the east or west end of Grangeville. So this is kind of the main town that gets switched. It'll have a local that comes out here. So this is the east side, and this will be modeled. It'll be compressed a bit, but I'm going to model it as prototypically as I can with all the industries in here. So you see I've got some of the mock-ups in right now. So, and then when we come out of Grangeville, we start going down into the freelance area of the layout. And this is, this would represent, this line doesn't exist, but this continues eastbound out of Grangeville. And it'll just be kind of mountain running. So the Union Pacific Bridge is above here, and I had to have some additional support. So I'm kind of gonna model this almost as a shadow box. And so there's no switching or anything, so you'll be able to watch your train through the shadow box. And then we're gonna come into the town of Mid-Summit. Let me move this piece of paper here. So Mid-Summit is a freelance town that is halfway up the summit from Whitebird. And so I never had my father-in-law asked me if I had a town, and I didn't. So I decided to add this to the layout. And then this also has, it'll be a wall logging log yard, and then a line to a mill that's off layout. So it adds some operational interest. So, and then you saw the train pop out through the backdrop, and then that's going to come in and end up in staging, which represents Boise and points east. Good job. All right, you can stop it. All right, change the direction button. Okay. And give it juice up to like 18. Good job driving.
Oh my God, really?
Yep.
Oh, thank you. I slowed it down to 10 through the yard because you said
Yep,
that
that was perfect. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
18.
Yep. We're gonna bring it back to the top. So we lost the caboose at Cottonwood and picked a switch. So it's all right. And then we had the train came off the track.
Yeah.
That where it stopped on the canyon. I think it's pick at a point. Might be the wheels on that locomotive.
Okay.
So that was about speed
Yeah.
with no stopping.
Right.
So it takes 19 minutes and 30 seconds, about 19 minutes and 45 seconds to go from staging to staging.
Wow.
So
It's going great.
yeah, it did. That was good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I was so nervous.
Oh, you did great. See,
Well,
isn't
good.
it fun to?
It is fun.
So like in like the speed limits, like what I'll do for this train, each train will have a speed limit card. So it'll be
Okay.
like with the number on the throttle setting.
Ah, okay.
So